Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Becky from Bucks County. I'm Becky Rynkiewicz, and today I wanted to hop on here and share a little bit about my journey of becoming a new mom, specifically to a Nicu graduate. This was actually one of the reasons why I was so inspired to create my YouTube channel. Right when I gave birth, my son was living in the Nicu, and he was there for a very long time because he was born premature at 29 weeks and 1 day. And when he was finally discharged from the NICU, I was home with him for just a few short weeks before I went back to work, because I am an entrepreneur and I own a few businesses. And when you're a business owner, you don't get any paid time off or paid maternity leave. So I had to hop right back into work. But for the few weeks that I was home with him, I really wanted to embrace that time and not think about work or not worry about anything other than just my son. And as you moms know, the little itty bitty newborn babies, all they do is eat, sleep, and poop. And so when he was doing most of his sleeping, which was all day long, I found myself watching YouTube videos and gravitating towards watching other moms share their life, share their journey, and taking everyone behind the scenes of mom life. And I was really fascinated and intrigued because I was a new mom and I had no idea what to expect. However, I felt that there was a piece missing in the YouTube world with working moms that were new moms, and they also owned businesses or they worked full time. And I couldn't find any mom that shared that journey, that worked full time, but also was a mom and did all the mom things and everything lifestyle. So that was really my true inspiration to start this channel. And I'm so excited for everything I have in store for you guys. But I wanted to start today by sharing my journey of when my son was born and being thrown into mom life, and specifically NICU mom life. And if you're looking at my hand, this is a faded henna tattoo. We actually just came back from Disney yesterday for our first family vacation, and I happened to get engaged, which was so exciting. And I'm gonna post a video in a few days, probably next week, on our engagement and all things Disney. So stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna share the video of when Bill proposed, which I'm so excited about. But anyway, back to this. When I became a mom and I was living in the NICU for 60 days, that's how long he was there, I felt really alone because I didn't know any other moms that had a baby born at 29 weeks, that had a baby living in the NICU and went through that. And I didn't know where to turn. And I'm hoping that by sharing his story and my story and our journey, someone that comes across this video will feel a little bit more comfort in their heart and know that they're not alone in this journey, and that there's always someone there that experienced or is currently experiencing what you're experiencing. So please be sure to share this video and subscribe and like it if you found value, or if you feel just better knowing that someone else is sharing a journey that you went through or someone that you know went through. Take you back through when I found out I was pregnant. I had a perfectly healthy pregnancy. The only thing other than it was the fact that I'm a little bit of an older first-time mom. I was 36 when I found out I was pregnant, and I was 36 when I gave birth. So other than being a little bit older, my pregnancy was super healthy. There were no concerns. The ultrasounds were perfect every single time. Up until the night before I went into labor. I was 29 weeks and 1 day pregnant. I just entered my third trimester. I started to feel just not like my normal self. I had to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, like to pee every hour, which was that was not normal. Obviously, you have an increased level of having the sense to pee and having to pee when you're pregnant, but every hour was definitely not normal. So when I finally got up for the day, I told Bill that like something was wrong. I just didn't feel like something was right. And he's like, definitely call the doctor. So I called the doctor. I told her what my symptoms were. She said, oh, it sounds like you might have like a bladder infection or something. So just go on into triage and we'll give them the update that you're coming in, and we'll give you antibiotics and we'll send you on your way. So I take the dogs out. I do the dishes. I get in the shower. I'm taking my good old time. Other than like feeling I have to pee, there's nothing wrong with me. So I think. So I walk into the hospital with nothing but my wristlet, my water bottle, and my like workout clothes that I'm wearing. And I get in to triage and they monitor me. They're like, okay, you're a centimeter dilated, but this isn't abnormal. You just ended your 3rd trimester. We're going to take a look at the baby, make sure everything's good. And he was fine. So they put me on an IV, they hooked me up to an IV, and they were giving me magnesium to counteract the effects of labor and keep me pregnant. Well, within literally an hour, I went from just feeling like I had to pee and like a little uncomfortable to having major contractions. And at this time, I don't even know I'm in labor and that these are contractions because I had no idea what contractions were like. And I had never taken like a prenatal class, like a birthing class or anything, because I was so early on in my pregnancy. I'm like, oh, I'll just do that when I'm like 33 weeks pregnant, 34 weeks pregnant. The nursery was not set up. I hadn't had my baby shower. I never got to do my maternity photos with my amazing photographer. Nothing was on my mind that I was going to be giving birth within an hour. So I'm telling Bill, my boyfriend, or my fiance, but boyfriend at the time, like, something's not right. I have this like insane pain and it's lasting for like a minute or two, and then it goes away for a minute or two and then it comes back. Nothing still is not clicking that I'm having contractions. The nurses aren't telling me that anything's wrong. Like, I don't know if they knew, they just didn't want to tell me. It was so bizarre. Literally within 2 hours from the time I arrived at the hospital, when they told me I was 1 centimeter dilated, my water breaks all on its own. I was totally natural labor, no medications. I'm 10 centimeters dilated, and they're like, we are rushing you to labor and delivery. You're about to have this baby. So they rushed me to labor and delivery. I literally pushed one time. He was born. I hear him crying when he was born. It was like, thank God, because I was so scared. I'm like, what? I'm having a baby? Like, there's no way. I'm only 29 weeks pregnant. Like, is he even gonna survive? Like, it was the scariest, craziest moment of my entire life. When I heard him crying when he was born, it was like music to my ears. Like, I'm like, oh, thank God he's okay. But I still didn't even know what was to come and what was on the horizon, because I was just, I think, in a state of shock. I actually thought I was dreaming for like 2 days, that this really didn't happen. And so he was born, and he was 2 pounds, 7.5 ounces, 15.5 inches long when he was born. And I didn't even get to hold him. He was rushed right into the area they had set up that was for premature babies. And they put him in this plastic bag. They gave him surfactant to open up his lungs. And they put him in the little isolette, and they wheeled him right down to the neonatal intensive care unit, to the Nicu. I didn't get to even see him or hold him until 5 hours later or so. It was in the evening of that night. I gave birth around at 12:49 p.m. I finally got to hold him, and that was a very scary time. He was diagnosed with a patent ductus arteriosus, or a PDA. Mind you, I know nothing about any of this stuff. I sound like I do right now because I'm telling you I could be a neonatal doctor at this point, but at this point I had no idea what any of this was. I did all this Googling when I went home. Me and Bill lived by his bedside, just praying and holding his little hand and just hoping that he was going to be okay. So he was diagnosed with a PDA, which is this hole in their heart that all babies are born with, but they close up in full-term babies within like 24 hours of being born. premature babies, their bodies don't know that they're supposed to close up. So his stayed open, and they told us they were going to have to administer medicine to get it to close. And if it didn't work, then they were going to potentially have to do surgery. So that was so scary. Thankfully, his PDA closed with 2 rounds of Tylenol, believe it or not. That's the medicine they gave him. He needed a blood transfusion when he was there because he was anemic. He had a very severe heart murmur because of the PDA. And he was on oxygen for about 56 days. That was the last thing that he needed to achieve in order to get the green light to go home. And he took to eating bottles great at like 33 weeks. They took out his feeding tube and he was able to eat bottles. And he was able to wear clothes because they don't dress them until they hit a certain weight. I think he was like 3.5 or 4 pounds when they put clothes on him. And when he finally was able to breathe on his own, then they kept him there for a few days to make sure everything was fine. And then on day 60, on September 14th, 2022, he was finally released from the hospital. It was the best day of my life, of our life, me and Bill. And he is thriving now. He has a perfect bill of health. Thank you, Lord Jesus. He is now almost 17 pounds. He's 7 months old, 25 inches long, eating 8 ounces at a time with his bottle, 4 to 5 bottles a day. We're actually introducing him to his first solid foods tomorrow. So I'm so excited for that because he just started to be able to sit up on his own. So that is my journey of being a first-time mom to a Nicu graduate and being thrown into mom life with a baby that lived in the hospital for the first 2 months of his life. And there are so many other details about this experience that I could go on and on and on about, and the ups and the downs and the setbacks. I mean, they tried taking him off of certain types of breathing delivery techniques, like different tubes, and the one didn't work, and they had to put him on a more intense one that he hated, and he tried ripping it off his face, and it was just the most traumatizing time of my life. But like I said, I was so inspired to create this channel to share my story and everything about my life and my son's life and being a mom and all the other amazing things that come with it, because I want other moms to find this channel and know that they're not alone if they're going through it, or if there's someone that they know going through it too. So I'm going to insert footage here of some video clips from when Chase was little.
Hey, baby boy. Are you wide awake? Are you getting ready to snuggle with mommy? First day I get to hold my baby and look at him while I'm holding him. The most special moment. I love you so much, dear. Hey, little dude. Hi, the most handsomest man in the whole wide world. Oh, hi.
That strong boy. Yay, Chase.
Hey, cutie. Hi, baby. Are we taking nappies and snuggles?
So here we are, 7.5 months later. This is my son, Chase. Say hi, Chase. Say hey to everyone. He is just a little miracle over here. He is a little more than 16 pounds, 25.5 inches. When he was born, he was 2 pounds, 7.5 ounces, and was 15.5 inches long. So we are just so blessed that He is so healthy, he's so perfect, and the doctors just, every single doctor that meets him in the pediatric care group that we go to, if it's a new doctor that hasn't seen him before, they're like, I'm looking at his file here and it looks like he was born premature and I would never be able to tell. Clearly he's teething right now. It still blows me away that we went through all of that and he experienced everything that he experienced, and here we are. So if you're new here and you are a mom or a dad going through a similar situation, or you have a family member or a friend or a coworker that's going through something similar, just know that keep the faith. There is always light at the end of the tunnel, and you might not be able to see it when you're in the thick of it, because I definitely couldn't. It felt like the days were a million years long and that we were never going to get out of the NICU, and we were never going to be able to have this moment here where it's his getting close to his bedtime and he's huge. But we're here, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe and like this video. Comment below if you like this video, if you'd like to see more videos like this, and I'll catch up with you guys next time. Say bye, Chase.
Let's get some sun, baby, it's time to go.